Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. I'm excited. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. It's Tuesday, man. And it's Tuesdays with Terrence. So as we're waiting for people to come on, we're trying to set up our little live. How are you? How are you beautiful people doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm gonna just get a couple of people ready so they can have their little. I like to send the YouTube to some people because some people like to, they like to get a text from me. So how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to my show. I am so excited. Let me copy and paste it so I can send it out to everybody. How are you doing? Because there's usually some people who can never get my show, so I'm trying to do it for them. How are you people doing? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence, man. We have a great show planned tonight. An excellent show. So I hope that you are telling someone about this. I'm going to put it on my WhatsApp story so everybody can see it and jump on. I'm going to say it's show time. I have a great show in store for you tonight, folks. I am so excited. How are you doing? How are you doing tonight? If you're on the line, say hello so I can give you a shout out. I'm going to say tune in live. All right. So I'm going to say tune in live now so people can see, they can tune in. I told some people I'm going to send it to them. How are you beautiful people doing? Let me see who's on so far. I can see Beth Amato, Cabo Verde, Queen. How are you? You're going to be a grandma again pretty soon. I hope you're doing exciting. I hope you're excited and you're doing well and you're ready for the shenanigans that's going to be happening. Oh my gosh. I hope that you are ready to be a grandma again. Are you ready to be a grandma again? Are you? You sure? Well, I'm not one yet, but I know it'll be coming sooner or later. Sooner or later, it will be coming. So how are you? Tell Moises and everybody else I said hello. Oh, you are excited. That is awesome. That is awesome, man. I am so excited. There is a flyer that I'm going to be showing you guys a little later, but it's for people up north. It's not for everybody, but how are you doing tonight? Is everyone doing well? Everyone doing peachy keen? Everyone's excited, like me on a Tuesday evening to talk to you about what I do. So welcome again to Tuesdays with Terrence. Welcome. I always say Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. And I'll do that in a little bit. But how are you doing? How is your week going so far? It's a new month. It's Men's Month, it's Men's Month. I hope you are doing very good, especially as fellas. Last month we had Mother's Day, all the good stuff for everybody. So today we're going to, take it one step at a time and see how it goes. I'm actually going to send this this live to somebody to blow their mind so they can take a look at it tonight. Hopefully they'll watch it. But welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. And even from the 767, Whitey Kubuli, the Commonwealth of Dominica, tall is her body. And you're from the enclave of Point Michel, the village of La Puente, the parish of St. Luke. You call me little boy, or if you really know me, you call me Luca boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. While everyone is just coming in, I'm going to play my theme song, get it queued up so we can start the show. Let's start it. Yes. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you?
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be.
Yeah.
Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
Woo!
On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me.
Here comes the outro.
So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Yeah, man, that's my theme song. You know, the roots of my rise from Dominica to Boston to the South. You know, I play this every week. I wrote the song, and I'm so excited that it resonates with some of you. And, you know, I enjoy it, man. I have AI singing it for me, but it is what it is. So, how are you? I jump in as we start our show weeklies. For those of you who are watching, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I know there's something else you could have been doing. For some of you, you could be doing Netflix and chill. You could be having dinner. You could be out and about. But there's people who religiously watch my show, and there's some people who religiously always ask me for something. They never watch my show. I never see them on my show. I don't even know if they watch it live or if they watch it on the rerun, but they're always in my DMs asking. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because what I do is what brings me joy, educating the masses. I have a great show planned for you tonight. For those of you who are approaching retirement, you got to listen to what I'm saying. And those of you who are really, really young, this is for you too. So it doesn't matter if you're 18, if you're 24, 34, 44, 54, 64. You know, I don't care where you at. There's stuff you can do, and we're going to talk about this tonight. You know, our title is The Number One Fear of Retirees. The number one fear of retirees is our topic tonight. So let's take a look at markets. Let's see what markets did tonight, okay? I think the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P were all up today. Let's take a look and see what happened. Okay. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 228.91 points. 228.91 points. So some of you made a little money in your 401ks, your mutual funds, your stock, your bonds. Good evening, Peach Goodwill. How are you? Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Um, the Nasdaq was up 7.09 points. That's tech stocks. It was up, and the S&P, the Standard and Poor's 500, was up 9.82. It looks like all the indices looks like they were up. Um, all of them. There's a couple I saw. The Nikkei was down 200 points. The Alphabet Inc. like Google's down a little bit, but most was up, and we're enjoying. Although there's wars and rumors of wars, and that Iran war thing is not settled, and but still, man, I have a feeling that this thing is gonna burst. I don't know. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. For those of you who have 401ks and 403bs and 457s and TSPs, you got to listen. For those of you who don't have anything, you got to listen. For those of you who are doing something, you got to listen. For those of you who already got what I'm going to talk about, you got to listen. And that's what I do every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So summer's this month, June 21st is the first day of summer, I believe, and the longest day of the year. The month has come and gone, the month of May. I had that. It was my mother's birthday month. She's been gone for a while. My brother was his birthday on the 25th. My sister was on the 17th. My cousin was on the 5th. I went up to Boston 2 weekends ago for a funeral, and my cousin would have been 70. He passed in April. But the good thing is, my eyes is itching a little bit. The good thing is, folks, as we've entered a new month, it's new beginnings. I always think sometimes when we fall off the horse, a lot of people don't know how to get back, or the horse or the wagon, whatever you want to call it. When you fall down, you got to get back on it. For those who are watching, I want to see if there's anybody on Instagram so I can give them a shout out. I see Lever Mervin is watching a little bit, and Mindad is watching. So whoever else is watching, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's what I do. I get on here and I talk. And there's some people now. You see, the regulars know to say hello to me. So when they say hello, I give them a shout out. There's some people I never give shout outs to because I don't know they're watching. They've been watching on the download, or they've been watching on the rerun. It's recorded. It's usually stayed up for like 30 days and people watch it. But, when people come on the show and they watch, I usually give them a shout out because I think it's really, really important. By the way, please Google, congratulations to Shannon, who graduated from the governor's school. Bravo. I believe she'll be headed to state, Virginia State. Very proud of her. Good job with what you've done as a parent. It's always good to see the young people, matriculate and move on. You know what I'm saying? Into high school, college. It's always a beautiful, beautiful thing. So for all the graduates out there, congratulations. For all those who have family members, whether it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your kid, your cousin, your nephew, your friend, your boo, your side piece. I don't care. Whoever's graduating, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. So we just talked about the markets being up, right? The S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq, the three major indices that we have here in the United States of America, all up a little bit. The Dow, let's go back and look at them again just to make sure I have it right here. The Dow Jones was up 229 points, so it's 51,000. It's 50. It's all time high. All time high, and people are saying, "Man, yeah, what's the bubble? What's going to happen next?" But what I again, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball. It says the stock market says today the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq all have records. They all at record highs, and that's a beautiful thing for those of you who have securities, whether it's your 401ks, your mutual funds, stocks, bonds, 529 card savings plans, variable index universal life policies. All of those things. You got a brokerage account that goes up and down. It's good for you that this stuff is, the market's doing well. But a lot of you who I'm not opposed. I've always said I'm not opposed to markets. I've never been opposed to markets. What I always tell people is that, what's in the market should be the percentage of money you're not scared of losing. Whatever percentage of your money you never ever want to lose, it should be protected with guarantees, liquidity, and control. Guarantees, liquidity, and control. And if there's a portion of your money you're willing to take a risk on, it's like going to the casino and you gamble some money. Some people say, well, I'm going with $100, and if I spend that $100, I'm done. Some people say it's $20. They go in there, they lose $20, they're done. But some people, they feel like, man, they lost $100 and they want to borrow 100 from somebody, goes to the ATM, take more. This machine is hot. It's going to hit. No. They say the odds of winning the Mega Millions, the big ones, it's like you are more likely to be hit by lightning twice than to hit that thing. So again, I'm not opposed to people, playing the lottery and doing their stuff, but last why I talked about that. I talked about hope is not a financial strategy. It's not. And tonight, we're talking about the number one fear of retirees. What do you all think the number one fear of retirees is? Anybody knows what you think? Whether you're a retiree or you're not a retiree, for those of watching, what do you think the number one fear for retirees are? Can anybody put that in the chat for me? Is anybody bold enough to want to take a shot and tell me what it is? What do you think, the greatest concern that retirees have in retirement? The number one fear of retirees. Anybody want to take a shot at that? The number one fear of retirees? Do you want to take a shot? You think you'll take a shot? No? Yes? Maybe? Nobody wants to take a shot for that? Yes? Maybe? No? We? See? No? Yes? Well, anybody wants to take a shot. What do you think the number one fear for retirees is? And it's not dying either. Because when you die, you're done. What can you do? So what do you all think the number one fear? Melinda Fraser said, running out of money. Good evening. I thought you were at the beach in St. Martin. You didn't post enough pictures so I could volley them. I volley one though. Yeah, you are 100% correct. Melinda Fraser, how are you? Good to see you. I thought you were still on the beach getting your tan on. That is the number one. It's not running out of money. It's not dying. It's running out of money. Running out of money. Now, they say, you just came back. Okay, good. That's good. You got a tan? You came back just in time to watch your Knicks. Congratulations. You're in the championship, but I'll be pulling for you all to lose. My pastor and Sandy, both from New York. One's from Canarsie originally. The other one is from Coney Island. But I'm pulling for them to lose. But if they win, oh boy, you're all going to be trolling me, and I have to take it. But congratulations to your Knicks. It's been a long time. Yeah, I think they haven't been to the championships since '99. I think it was the last time they were there. And but congratulations to them. All right, so you got sunburned. Oh man, you need to put Vaseline or something on that. What's that cream? Eucerin or something. You need to put that. You know that. You mean you had no sunscreen when you went there? Shame on you. You know better than that because you live on the islands and the beach and vacation places. So it says the Knicks, we're going all the way. All right, I hear you. I hear you, girl. I hear you. You're supposed to be a big fan of your team. So, anyways, congratulations to your Knicks in the championship. You guys are in the championship. So, the number one fear of retirees isn't death. It's running out of money. It's running out of money. Running out of money. You said yes, but it was a lot. Yeah, running out of money while you are still alive. You see, most people, right? They spend 30 to 40 years building their savings. Some of you build your savings with in the bank accounts, CDs. I just did a rollover for someone from a CD, up in the Tri-City up here, Tri-State area, up in New Jersey. I just did that for them. But the thing about it was, most people spend 30 to 40 years building their savings and have zero plans, for 30 years, 30, 40 years, especially if you got out of school around 22, or if you were straight out of high school, 18, you're working 28, 38, 48, 58, some companies let you retire after that time. But if you go to college and, after 4 years, or if you go for grad school as well, right after, but you're working for 30, 40 years building your savings, whether it's your 401k, your bank account, under your mattress, in a safe, whatever things that you do, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, whatever it is that you do, you spend 30 to 40 years building your savings. And you have zero plans for the 20 to 30 years after you retire. So you see, nowadays people are living longer. I think the average age for women now is 89, and for men is 87. But in my church, we have multiple people in their 90s. We have a bunch of people in their 80s too, but we have multiple in their 90s, and their mental faculty is strong. I mean, their body is not as strong. They use walkers and different things, but their mental faculty is there. So most people spend 30 to 40 years building their savings and have zero plans for the 20 to 30 years after. Why is that? Good evening, Isabel Joseph Cabon Sakafet. Zero plans for the 20, 30 years after. And here's what nobody tells you. This is what nobody tells you. All right? For all of you who are in markets, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, and I'm buying this, I'm buying that. And I'm not opposed to that if you're doing that, right? Especially for those of you who always go to Starbucks, you buy Nike, all those things, you need to invest in those companies. And if you can't buy the stock outright, you can buy ETFs, you can buy mutual funds where you can actually purchase, a portion of that. So for those of you who are doing that, nobody tells you that the stock market can cut that in half in a single day. I remember in 1987, I was a young banker in Boston, Massachusetts. I was a young man. I was in my 20s. And when they had that crash in October, was it 87 or 89? I don't remember. I think it was 87. And, there were people, I remember this, people from Merrill Lynch and different places, man, they were going crazy. This guy, I remember in Boston, he came to the Merrill Lynch and shut up the place. Some of them, think about the Great Depression and the Great Crash, in the 1920s. People, were jumping off buildings because they lost everything. So most people spend 30 to 40 years building their savings and have zero plans for the 20 to 30 years after. And here's what nobody tells you. The stock market can cut that in half in a single day. Now, I always pray that never happens because the market always corrects itself. But if you're 50s and 60s, you don't have time. You don't have 40 years of working. You want your accumulation phase where you're accumulating, but at this stage, when you get to these ages, you want to protect what you have. Man, something's in my eye. You got to protect what you have, you got to protect it. But nobody tells you that. So people, I know people right now who've left jobs, or some of them even retire, and they have their 401k sitting with some company. That annoys me. And especially if you're over 59 and a half, where you can do what we call an in-service rollover. An in-service rollover. So, like I said, the stock market can cut that in half in a single day. It could happen. We didn't say it's going to happen. It could happen. Remember 2008, people lost a lot of money, boy. I remember in 2008, one of my friends came to me and it's like, man, I don't know anything about this. Can you help me? They had about 25,000 in their doggone 401k. You know, now it's over 300 grand. And they have a few more years to go before they retire. Now, there is a type of account. There's a type of account, and it's called income protection or income insurance, where it's a type of account that you can use where your money grows when the market goes up. Now, people always think sometimes they got to do these big things. You know, I was talking to a client yesterday in Charlotte, and we talked about, as a matter of fact, I'm going to send them my Tuesdays with Terrence live right now so they know about what's going on right now. Let me send it to them. And I was telling them, you got to prepare, for those rainy days. You got to prepare for those days. And most people don't realize is that, you know what? Some of these things sometimes will happen, could happen. And if it does happen, are you prepared? A lot of people they play with themselves. They're taking the unnecessary risks. And I'm like, why though? Why are you doing that? Why are you taking those unnecessary risks to, to to play with your retirement? You don't have the time to make it up. You don't have the time. And if you don't have the time, why are you fooling around? Folks, I tell people the ideal age to get a life insurance policy is at 2 weeks, when the child is 2 weeks old, because then you haven't been diagnosed with anything in 2 weeks. All right. And the younger you start, the better it is for you moving forward. The younger you start, the better it is for you moving forward. All right. So if there was an account, if there was a way you can create an account where your money grows when the market goes up, like today, your money will grow if it goes up. But when the market goes down, you don't lose anything. Excuse me. When the market goes down, you don't lose anything. So people always think they got to do something big. Use the strategies of the wealthy. So you for 20, 30 years, 40 years, you're working, you're saving, and then you're going to live another 20 to 30 years. Now, I'm not telling you just leave it there for people, spend it. But make sure you don't run out of money. When you guys go to Walmart and you see an old person at the door greeting you, hi, welcome to Walmart. You think they're there because they want to? They're there because they got to supplement their income. Some did no better. Some didn't plan. Some squandered what they had. Some lost what they had. Some try to be Captain Help, or you know what, help everybody. No, you can't do that. So what I'm saying to you guys is that we sometimes put ourselves in trouble by trying to be Mr. Fix-It. There are simple strategies that you can put in place that will protect on a tax-favored basis. In other words, you don't pay taxes if you do it the right way. Folks, I'm not opposed to 401ks, 403bs, 457 plans, TSPs, because they give you a contribution. That's free money. And they match it They match. Some companies. I have a client. The company matches up to 16%. What are you going to do? Hmm? What are you going to do? You're going to continue saying, "Oh well, I don't know. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." No, 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 no. Folks, you're getting older. You're getting more mature. You got to start diversifying and putting stuff into with guarantees. And that way you can use that dollar twice. Because most of you are not using it twice. You don't know how to. And everybody thinks they gotta listen, man. I'm going to be doing a seminar up in Massachusetts later this month. A Get Out of Debt seminar and talk about financial literacy at a church. The church I was baptized in back in like 40 years ago. And what I'm saying to you guys, you don't have to continue doing the same thing that you're doing. If your concern is running out of money, why would you have a vehicle or an account or a strategy that will prevent you from ever running out of money? Those of you watching, including myself, you ever remember one time you were broke and you had no money? How did that make you feel? You didn't feel good, did you? Now you guys are making six figures, making high six figures, close to six figures. You're all bougie now. You're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. But they say the average American don't have $500 saved. I read an article today in Clippinger. It said the new emergency account should have $20,000 in it. The new emergency account. Don't put your hands up. But how many people have an emergency account with at least $20,000 in it? We're talking about your 401k. We're talking about your thrift savings plan, your 457, your TSP, whatever kind of retirement plans you have, your IRAs. We're just talking about something you can access in an emergency. I know this client, not a client, a friend of the show, they told me they have 2 years, 24 months of savings saved in the bank, just in case. I was like, wow. Because the financial advisor says 3 to 6 months of savings. Some say 6 to 12. Now, the article said 20,000, but this person told me if they lose their job and they lose everything, their current expenses that they have enough money saved for 2 years to pay bills and take care of what they need to. It means that person is very responsible. Good evening, Martha. How are you tonight? Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. It means that person is very, very responsible. So, what do you have? I got a thing in a text today from this company called Discount Tire. And they're like, you can get 4 tires for such and such, but my tires are good. You can get so much percentage off and da 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 da. But they also say, I just told you, the statistics say the average American don't have $500 saved for an emergency. The average American could not replace 4 tires on their car if they had an emergency. If somebody went by and start slashing your tires, or your crazy ex, or your boo, or your side piece, or someone who hates you, or a jealous person, they come and they slash all your tires. Do you have the money to replace those? They say the average American does not have that. Glad you're doing great, Martha. Glad you're doing great. Folks, I'm helping people. I'm helping them protect what they have. I'm helping them get control, liquidity, and access, And the greatest flex about me, of what I do, the greatest flex, and I say it's a flex because I feel like flexing. These people will never, ever lose their money. Never. If you have accounts in the bank, it's only FDIC insured for $250,000 per registration. not per account. If you have 10 accounts in Wells Fargo or Capital One Bank or Chase, Morgan Chase, JP Morgan Chase, or whatever bank you bank, and you have 20 accounts there, and the title of the account is just your name, and God forbid something happened, guess what? What do you think? God forbid something happened. Guess what? With all those 20 accounts that you have, you're only covered FDIC insurance up to 250,000 because it's 250,000 per registration. That's why people who have bank accounts, you advise them to have an account on their name. If they're married, account them on their spouse, an account with them and a kid, or the other spouse and another kid, or a spouse and this, because it's per title. It's not, you're not getting, that money, all that money. Now, the banks, the big banks, I know they bailed out some of the banks in 2008, but the big banks, they're making their money. So why can't you become a bank and make your money? Why can't you be Big Papa or Big Mama? You be in your own bank, the National Bank of You. So, I show people how to protect their income, eliminate debt, and create legacies, right? But some people, even if you choose not to eliminate debt, why won't you create legacies and why won't you protect your income? Why? What's the hindrance? Let me tell you one of my pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is when someone tell me they know what they're talking about when they don't know. That aggravates me. Because a lot of people don't want to appear stupid. Folks, when Mr. H. Terrence Bardui, Harry's Terrence Bardui don't know, so he tell you right up, I don't know. I don't understand. And if I don't understand, you cannot even continue because I want to follow you because you're not giving me the okie doke, especially if we're doing something professional, business-like, financial. Folks, we just said the number one fear of retirees isn't death, it's running out of money while you're still alive. I'd say that most people spend 30 to 40 years building their savings and have zero plans for the 20 to 30 years after. And guess what? It says, here's what nobody tells you. The stock market can cut that in half. I keep saying that over and over. I don't think the stock market is going to crash. I don't think somebody could. It's like that bubble. That bubble, man. I feel like something's going to pop. Now, check this out. Why wouldn't you want to have guaranteed income every month for as long as you live? I have a client who told me he wanted to live to be 125. That's what he told me. Actually, I saw him last weekend. He said he wanted to live to 125. And the next question was out of my mouth. Have you put the stuff in place so that your stuff can handle when you're 125? Because I'm not going to tell him, man, you're not God and all that stuff. No. People can have any thoughts that they want. That's the beauty of a brain. Sometimes you get to fantasize. Sometimes you get to utilize. That's the beauty of it. So it says guaranteed income every month for as long as you live. And my next question would be, if you're interested, just put interested in the chat. We can talk. I'm not going to talk about it now because I can't ask you personal questions. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Susie, Sally, and Sharon watching. I can't get personal with you, but we can create or set up an appointment date, and we get to be transparent. I get to tell you what I see based on my experience and knowledge and information that I have. And some people, sometimes they don't want that. And the reason they don't want that is because, you know what? They're set in their ways. I don't care. I tell people all the time, being set in your ways doesn't mean you want to embrace change. Now, I don't believe you should embrace all change. But you got to position yourself to embrace the changes that can significantly impact your life on the positive note. So for some of you who still have money in CDs, hit me up. Not when it's due, before it comes due. So we can protect it when it comes due. Because I want to know exactly when it's coming due. Because what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna give me the okey doke and tell me, you know what, it actually, I thought it was next week, but it expired last week and they run it back again. Nah. Most companies will give you a 10-day grace period, but give me the information that I need, and that way I'll be able to help facilitate for you. Folks, this is not frivolous information. So you may say, man, Mr. Badui, Mr. Badwil, Mr. Havis, Mr. H, Mr. Terrence, Mr. Little Boy, Mr. Luku Boy, I don't know what I should do or where I should. You know what? Start anywhere. Start anywhere. Start with any amount. The key is consistency. Consistency is rewarded via discipline. Because consistency is like if you're disciplined about something, some people maybe their nails, maybe their feet, maybe a wax, a massage, a garden, going to see their kids or grandkids. Some people are addicted to stuff. And that's okay. That is okay. But you have to make sure. You have to, folks. Some people think like if they, don't watch the show so I can see them, like I'll be mad at them. No. If we're really cool, I'll give you what we call a little mapui words. I give you some words, but it's in a fun way. In a fun way. So tonight, I want you to start thinking about what I just said. Some of you are in your 50s and you're healthy, right? The thing about it is, if you're healthy, don't you want to do more for your future self? You also hear me say it all the time. Only your current self can take care of your future self. You can't. Only your current self can take care of the future. So I get on here and I'm saying to you guys, there's an account. Do a small one. Do something. It's your money. You have access to it. The older you get, the more you'd have to do if you want to, get to a certain margin or a certain amount. But some of you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, friends. So that's why I'm excited. I'm going up to Boston, Massachusetts to do a seminar at the church at the end of the month. Because I want people to know there is hope. Let me read something to you. Let me pull it up. It says, let me pull it up. It says, I'm trying to pull something up to read to you guys. Hopefully I can. If not, you have to catch me on the back end. Let me see if I can pull it up to read for you guys. It says, empowering yourself through your time, right? Or you lean for guidance, right? As you explore how to build a stronger financial foundation. Too many people, and when I get on this show, on my show, and I'm talking, I am not talking about anybody. Some of you guys have done very well. There's people watching right now. I've told them pat themselves on the back. They've done well. They didn't do everything they were supposed to. They didn't do everything most efficiently, but they did well, and I'm very proud of them. And I've told them that. I've told them that. But the key here is if you have a 401k, a 403b, a 457, or a TSP, at age 73, it used to be 70 and a half, but now for the little younger folks like my age, at age 73, you have to start taking what's called minimum M required R distributions, RMDs, required minimum distributions. What that means is your 401k, your 457, your TSP, Thrift Savings Plan, whatever your retirement vehicle is, whatever your retirement vehicle, if it's qualified, you got to start taking it out at a certain age. And Uncle Sam is the one I've always asked clients, right? Do you think in the future taxes are going to stay the same, go higher, or go lower? A couple people have told me, oh, it's going to stay the same. And I think those people were just trying to make themselves look smart. Everything is going up. In the future, taxes are going to be higher because you don't control it. Congress does. The House and the Senate write bills. The president signed it into law, like that big, beautiful bill they had earlier this year that passed. Big, beautiful bill for billionaires. So that's why I come out here every Tuesday and I tell people who look like me. When I say look like me, I don't mean necessarily my ethnicity, but they have the same characteristics. They want to do better. They want to make sure they never run out. I was just talking to a client up in Jersey last night, and I was telling them what we did for you. You will never run out of money. I didn't say you're not going to have, dusk and dawn. I'm saying you're never going to run out. If you ask me why, folks, it's so hard for me not to, how would I say diplomatically? It's so hard for me not to feel bad for people who know better. When you don't know, I don't blame you. When you don't know, I don't ostracize you. When you don't know, I don't beat you over the head. But when you know, like we say in Dominica, garçon, like boy, sometimes here I'm like, these people. So I'm talking to the people tonight on the positive note who have decided they want a better future for themselves and their families. So they've put some stuff in place. So again, the number one fear of retirees isn't death. It's running out of money while you are still alive. Man, if you are 60, 65, you're not taking any medication, you got good health, you're probably going to live in your 90s. Now, anything is possible. Another pandemic can come through. You can catch something. You can have an accident. But we're talking about not those things. People, our ancestors, some of them were dying younger, but some were living very old. My grandmother lived to be 103. I remember one year I was in Dominica, there was a lady, they call her Ma Pampo. She lived to be 125. Our policies in Dow, some of our policies at 120, some at 100, some at 95. But can you imagine being 125 years old? Now, I've always said, as long as I have my mental faculties, my physical, I'm good to go. But if I can't drive somewhere because I can't see at night or this and that. I'm gonna be miserable. I'm gonna be hell on wheels. So that's where you got to have something to supplement. And the reason why I don't like all those TSPs and 401ks and 403bs and thrift savings plan, they're tax infested. You know, like bed bugs and cockroaches. Like we say, Dominica, cochoni, nonsense. Those things are embedded in your 401ks, 403bs, 457 TSPs, and stuff like that. I would rather see you have something that you supplement than having got those regulations, but they act like the retirement accounts that you know about. I've talked about in the past about DCA, dollar cost average, into something. You put the same amount every month, whether it's up or down, and it averages out. But the key here is making sure, folks, making sure that you never run out of money in your retirement. I know people in their 70s who hardly worked. They can't afford not to get their little check. But I wish, I really do, that everybody's my Facebook friend. They live in the continental United States. They say, I gotta call this joker. Because there's people doing it. People slip in my DMs. They slip into my DMs and say, hey, can I get some help about this? One of my high school buddies just texted me and called this past week. They were coming from a graduation. And we talked about some of the things they need to do because they saw a video last year of what may happen. I said, I believe it too, but there's no guarantees. We don't know when it's going to really actually happen, but we know it's going to happen. So secure your nest egg. Get a plan where you can put money in every month to help supplement your income with guarantees that you will never, ever lose a penny. Some of you who are watching, I want you to Google the rule of 72. Google it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Google it. That's your homework for tonight. That's your homework for tonight. But remember, there is an account you can use to supplement your retirement with guaranteed lifetime income. The younger you are, the better. Is the more time you have to save. The OGs like me, technically I'm like 3 years from it, but I'm not retiring. Like, man, as long as I got this and I can drive, phew, plus no one can tell me what to do, I'm going to keep going. But there's some people who are going to retire at 62. I was talking to someone the other day, say they might take the Social Security at 62. Some told me to take it at 65, some say 67. Some want to delay. I think with the Secure Act 2.0, they might even put your minimum required distributions up to age 75. You see, the government, we think the government is $39 trillion in debt that they say. You guys have any idea how much money is in 401ks, 403bs, 457 TSPs in this country? Do you all know? Our national debt is about $39 trillion. Trillion. So what we're going to do, what you going to do. So tonight, this is my charge to everybody that's watching tonight. My charge is the first thing you got to do is get on my calendar. Get on my calendar. The second thing you have to do is to create an account where you can dump money in. No one can access it. You can never lose it. And according to how much you put in, you can have a nice guaranteed lifetime income. And when you get tax returns and raises on the job, live like you were normally living and take that money, dump it into that thing, that account. It's tax favored, meaning you don't have to pay taxes if you structure it properly. Folks, I love what I do. I love what I do. I love to educate. The only thing I don't like about my job is when Some people don't listen and take my advice. No, I'm human and it's your money, it's your right. But I can see what you can see. Remember that song? You can't see what I can't see. You're blind, baby. You're blind to the facts. You can't see what I can see. Folks, I have a crystal ball in my head that I can see. When I find out more about, how you budget, what you spend, I can see in the crystal ball what would transpire for you in the future. Are you willing to do that? Decide that, you want to have something to supplement. They say Social Security may not be there. I don't know if I believe that, but it's always nice, man, to get an extra check. Just like people who are entrepreneurs and have multiple streams of income. Every day a check's coming to the mail or in the direct deposit or every couple of days. So tonight, tonight, the number one fear of retirees isn't death, it's running out of money. Let me show you. I won't show it on there because if I do that, then I gotta have to start asking you questions. I want to have a personal appointment with you, in person, via Zoom, in an office, at a Starbucks, a Panera Bread, anywhere. I've done business outside or the hood on a hot day in Petersburg, Virginia, back in 2007, 2008. But you all are the more educated ones. Let us, in 2020, the second half of 2026, recalibrate, reallocate, change what we're doing. Because it says right here, most people spend 30 to 40 years building their savings and have zero plans for the 20 to 30 years after. Folks, don't let too late be your cry. They say have 3 to 6 months saving. I say do 6 to 12. Now they're talking about you gotta have at least 20 grand. Folks, start somewhere. I don't care if you put in 25 bucks away, then take it up to 50, then 75, 100. No one's asking you to leverage out your savings. What I'm saying to you to put stuff in place now. Because I see how it's working for people, see how it's working for me. But the key is taking that leap of faith. So tonight, if you're going to get on my calendar, put it in the chat. Or don't put it in the chat. Just slide into my DM. Slide into my DM and say, you know what, Havis, you know what, H, you know what, Terrence, you know what, Mr. Badu, you know what, little boy, you know what, little boy, I want to get on your calendar. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from the 767, YT Kumuli, tall is her body. The Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me little boy. If you're from St. Luke's Parish, a.k.a. La Pointe, a.k.a. Point Michelle, you call me Luku boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. So tonight, the fear of retirees isn't death. It's running out of money. Let me help you so you do not run out of money in your retirement. The time has come when we must depart. Until next Tuesday at the same time, same channel.
Battery medium. Connected to.
Thanks for tuning in.
Camera.
I'll be watching the game, Melinda, and trolling you as well. But folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. Let's help you augment your retirement with guaranteed income where you will never ever lose a penny, even when the market goes up and down. You want to learn more? Let me show you. I'll do some illustrations for you. You can start small and then build. I don't care if you're 18, 28, 38, 48, 58. I can help you. So I don't care if you're 68. Let's put something in place. Let's protect. All right? So as we close, Good night, everybody. God bless you. Boom.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be.
Woo!
Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray.
Yes, Melinda, tomorrow night I'll be texting you. Yes, yes. All in fun, my dear, all in fun.
Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me.
Good night, everybody. Oh, you ready? Melinda, you ready? Yes, you ready?
So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty and Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
Good night, everybody. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Make it a good night. Listen, let me help you protect your retirement. Let me help you and show you what you can do. Folks, that's what I'm here to do. My name is Terrence Bardui, and the show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. Good night, and God bless you. If you like what you heard, you can share it. You can like it, share it with somebody. If you don't like what you heard, sorry, I will be mad at you. I love you. Mwah. Good night. Hasta la vista, babies.